The 2015 Homiletic Directory has for this fourth Sunday in Ordinary Time Year A, it recommends 15 paragraphs from the Catechism of the Catholic Church to go with these readings. Most of them focus on the Gospel reading, which is the beginning of the Sermon of the Mount with the Beatitudes. And I'll read those through from this Douay Rheims edition of the Bible. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the land. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after justice, for they shall have their fill. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they that suffer persecution for justice's sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when they shall revile you and persecute you, and speak all that is evil against you, untruly, for my sake. Be glad and rejoice, for your reward is very great in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets that were before you. I thought it was interesting that all three of these, the catechisms, the Catechism and the Compendium and the Youth Catechism, all three of them have got the complete text of the Beatitudes in them, not just referring to them as a footnote, but actually within the text having them. And in the Compendium of the Catechism, it's at the back of the book, listed in an appendix there, formulas of Catholic doctrine. I had a go at summarising the Beatitudes down to one word each. The first, poor; second, mourn; 3, meek; 4, righteousness; 5, merciful; 6, pure; 7, peacemakers; 8, persecuted; and 9, revile. Some interesting words in this part of the Catechism are revile, beatitude, countenance, paradoxical, and meek. Paradoxical, I think, is a particularly apt description for the Beatitudes, where at first glance they seem quite difficult or not making sense, but when looked at more closely, that's the sense of them's brought out. I think Philip Yancey in his book, The Jesus I Never Knew, does a good job of explaining that paradoxical element. He sort of gives the first glance idea of the Beatitudes with the title of the chapter, Beatitudes, Lucky Are the Unlucky, where they seem to be sort of contradictory at first glance, but goes on to describe how the real benefits that people have as rewards in the kingdom of heaven, but also seeing rewards on earth. 9 of the 15 recommended paragraphs come from one block, which has the heading Our Vocation to Beatitude, beginning with paragraph 17-16 in the Catechism. It begins by describing the Beatitudes as at the heart of Jesus' preaching, and then it lists the Beatitudes. And it talks about how they shed light on the actions and attitudes characteristic of the Christian life, that they are paradoxical promises that sustain hope in the midst of tribulations. Then it has a section about the desire for happiness is a heading, talking about the Beatitudes respond to a natural desire for happiness. And the next heading is Christian Beatitude. I like the first sentence of 1721. God put us in the world to know, to love and to serve him, and so to come to paradise. In 1723, how the Beatitudes teach that true happiness is not found in riches or well-being or human fame or power, but in God alone. So the headings for the recommended paragraphs are Jesus, a model of the Beatitudes for followers; call to beatitude; and the third heading, the poor and humble remnant bear hope of Messiah.